Good morning.
Morning. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good. And you?
Fine. So,
In the south of Germany. Looks like sheet weather in Hamburg.
let's see.
Okay, so I'm just joining the platform to see what's happening there. Okay, already people saying good morning, good day.
Good morning.
Good morning, Rolf.
Hi, can you hear me?
And
Yes.
Yes.
hello, good morning. I can hear you pretty well.
Great. I think I have to change the position of my notebook slightly. Just a sec. Yay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, good morning,
Great.
Bart.
Good morning, everybody.
Goran, can you please say something? Just the audio testing?
Yes. Can you hear me? Hello. Hello.
Yeah, perfect.
Perfect.
Good. Thank you.
So let's see, when is the session about to start? In 22 minutes.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm sorry, I have.
Hello. There she's gone.
Yeah, seems that you have some issues. But anyway, the session will start at 8:45. Yes, 8:45.
Mhm.
The pre-recording and the actually
Darfst du nicht schaffen. Willst du mal gucken?
and the Q&A will start at 9 and 7. 9:07. Okay. So
9:07. Okay.
9:07, yeah. So we have some time for the Q&A. Jana, if you can hear, just to let you know, we can't hear you.
I can hear you.
No, Jana. Okay.
Ah.
Okay.
Ja. Oder fühlt sich jeder besorgt, mal reinzugucken? Nö, ist gut. Ich schließe auch noch ab gleich.
Who's chairing this session?
That would be me, actually, I guess. So I'll be the moderator. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So my name is Ron. I'm the technician for this session. There are two voting questions. So if you see, just to confirm, this is the first one. First question.
That's the wrong one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's for another session, yeah.
And this one?
Nope.
No?
Did
Okay.
you prepare any questions in your session? I don't think so, or?
Yes, we did. Bart did.
Bart did, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was requested by Anna to submit some more questions, so I did prepare 2 questions.
Okay,
Jana
so
just sent a message that she can send them in the chat window when you can see it here.
okay, let's see. Okay, so Jana, please send me the questions and I will change it. in the system. Okay, no, let me check. Maybe that's the wrong. How reliable data? Let me check.
Team, so das Schiff ist jetzt schon vorbereitet zum Ablegen, oder? Um 9.
Genau, also Boarding geht jetzt los und dann fahren wir in 40 Minuten los.
Oh wow, ist heute Kick-Off?
Heute ist Kick-Off-Day, ja.
Sehr cool.
Schleswig-Holstein hat ja geöffnet, aber Hamburg wollte noch nicht so richtig. Aber selbst mit Hamburg haben wir das jetzt noch hinbekommen.
Sehr gut.
Super.
Macht ja jedes
Das
Bundesland
letzte Schiff.
und Ende letzter Woche meinte Hamburg auf einmal, nee, ihr fahrt nirgendwo hin, ist uns egal, dass Helgoland und Schleswig-Holstein das erlauben, aber Hamburg, wir erlauben das nicht.
Okay, interessant. Ja, ich bereite mich gerade auf meinen Schleswig-Holstein-Urlaub vor mit meiner Frau.
Wohin geht's denn, wenn ich fragen darf?
Wir haben Sylt gebucht tatsächlich.
Also ich weiß ja nicht, wie ihr anreist, aber wenn ihr mit der Fähre anreisen wollt, gerne bei mir melden. Wir haben ja auch die Fähre.
Ja, nee, alles gut. Ich habe das schon gesehen gehabt, aber wir hatten schon vor längerer Zeit gebucht und sind mit dem Zug jetzt auf dem Weg.
Okay.
Aber sonst klar.
Nein, Spaß. Aber ich sag mal, wenn ihr mal einen regnerischen Tag haben solltet, man kann uns ja nicht nur für eine An- und Abreise nutzen, sondern einfach nur für einen Ausflug auf dem Schiff. Das heißt, wenn es mal irgendwo stürmt oder regnet, gerne melden. Seid ihr 2 Stunden auf der Nordsee mit Restaurant und Shop da unterwegs? Also, wenn euch die Decke auf den Kopf fällt bei Regen, gerne melden.
Ah, super. Das heißt, ihr macht da so Rundtouren auch, oder wie? Darf ich es verstehen?
Jein. Also man kann es halt entweder einfach nur nutzen als Anreise nach Sylt, aber es gibt auch ganz viele Leute, die, sagen wir mal, mit dem Flugzeug anreisen oder halt auch mit dem Zug und einfach sagen, Mensch, ich will mal über die Nordsee ein bisschen rüber nach Dänemark und wieder zurück. Du brauchst auch keinen Test, keine Quarantäne danach, alles gut. Und
okay.
kannst euch draußen aufs Freideck hinstellen oder drin im Restaurant, also selbst wenn es regnet, ist egal. Also machen viele.
Spannend, okay.
Für Florian ist sehr wichtig, dass die Schiffe, mit denen er fährt, auch von MTU-Motoren angetrieben sind. Wäre das denn da gegeben?
Es wird leider nicht. Dann müsst ihr mit unseren Offshore-Windpark zum Beispiel fahren. Oder halt nach Helgoland.
Ja, dann
Florian, dann
schwierig mit der Schifffahrt leider, ja.
Aber ich glaube, die Strecke nach Dänemark entschädigt dafür. Das ist schon
ja, die ist schon ganz okay, die Strecke. Das passt.
Ja. Also
Bart, hast du die Kollegen aufgeschlaut, dass wir eine ganz kleine Änderung uns gestern Abend noch überlegt haben? Sollen wir es gleich mal kurz?
Noch nicht.
Kommt
Jetzt
das Easter Egg?
Ja, genau, jetzt kommt.
Ist wirklich nur eine winzige Kleinigkeit. Aber der Bart, der hat noch 2 schöne Folien gemacht zum System, wie das funktioniert, wie das genau aussieht. Und wir hatten ja ursprünglich die Idee, dass ich nachher, wenn die Q&A, also ich sage ja am Schluss, so jetzt beginnen wir mit den Q&As, the floor is yours. Da war ja die ursprüngliche Idee, dass ich sage, ich habe noch eine grundlegende Frage. Ich habe es noch nicht ganz verstanden, wie funktioniert das System genau, wie sieht das aus? Dann käme der Bart mit diesen perfekten Folien, sieht dann irgendwie ein bisschen komisch aus. Deshalb haben wir uns jetzt überlegt, dass der Bart einfach sagt, bevor es mit den Q&As losgeht, sagt er, sorry, Rolf, if I can interrupt, but we just forgot one important point. I wanted to give a short overview of how the system looks and how it works, and we forgot to show these slides. Und dann würde ich einfach sagen, stimmt, sorry, my oversight, my mistake. So please go ahead.
Can I also interrupt you? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Tiana, we
Ooh,
can.
that's a good sign. Florian, did you see the questions that I've put in the chat?
Yes, we saw them here. Yeah.
These are the correct ones, right?
Let me take a look.
Bart, can you verify
yes,
that?
the ones that
I'm
you're
looking
seeing.
at it. Yeah.
But I think, yes, they are.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Vielleicht noch, Rolf, vielleicht noch ein Vorschlag oder Idee. Ich glaube nicht, dass wir da sagen müssen, dass wir was vergessen haben, sondern sagen, da hätte ich noch einen Punkt. Könntest du bitte noch, weil sonst hat man den Eindruck, wir haben was vergessen und das ist eigentlich, muss nicht sein. Also das ist eine Live-Session, es kann immer passieren, dass man die Reihenfolge irgendwie, da gibt es aber noch einen Punkt. Lass uns noch kurz zeigen eigentlich, wie das System aussieht. Und dann
So wie Steve Jobs. One more thing.
Ja.
Okay, sorry to disturb, Rolf. So during the session, I will wait for your sign to tell me when to activate the first question and then to activate the second question. Okay? If you want, we can make a quick rehearsal. Okay?
Rolf, one important question. Besides the question, you were just mentioning the slides you want to show. Is Kenneth already aware that you want to show the slides?
Yes.
In the preparation, we spoke about slides, but I don't believe they have them. But
yes,
they also
don't. Sorry.
You don't need to have them, right?
Sorry, I'm interrupting. So, Ron, we will begin with sharing the slides, right?
I don't know which slides.
Okay, so because there was a part in the session that we couldn't record, there will be slides shared. You can go ahead and share your slides even now to have them prepared. And once you want them to be shown on screen, you just tell Ron and he will show it on screen.
Okay, Ross, do you have the slide? Who's sharing the slides?
Bart is showing the slides. I think it's the quickest and easiest if he shares.
Okay, Bart, can you please share your slides?
So we basically have the slides from Bart, and we have the two questions. So one is a word cloud, and the other one will be a multiple choice.
Okay.
Yeah, with the multiple choice going first.
Bart, you're on mute. Bart, you're on mute.
Now, Bart?
Yeah.
The only thing is I have one screen only here. So I will have to go into the presenters mode. But I think it's like, I will point out there is one more thing that we have forgot about. So let's introduce our system architecture and the overall user interface of our product. And I would like to share here 2 slides. So this would be like a signal for you that I will be sharing something, yeah? And then
when you
or how you do it. I don't know what is the most like practical way to do this, yeah?
Just mention that now you want to share your slides, and I will show it on the screen. Okay.
Okay, but I have to be in the full screen, correct? So you
now it's not.
will see the complete screen of mine, yeah?
Yeah, now it's
so
perfect.
like this. You need to have it, yeah?
Now
okay, and then I can go to the next slide, and this is working as well, I believe.
Exactly.
So now you can see the second slide, yeah?
Exactly.
Okay, so
if you can, if you can leave the screen open with the first slide like this, and when you start your lecture, I will share the screen.
Maybe, you know, maybe I will still grab the second screen and put it somewhere here on the floor, because then I will not see the session all the time, and it's not so good. I have one screen only here, so please give me a second, okay?
Okay.
I will connect I will try to connect the second screen.
Okay.
We still have the time, do we?
Yeah, we have time.
Yeah. Okay. Give me just a second.
And Rolf,
yes.
If you see on the chat on the right, I just shared the link. The link is all the questions from the audience. Okay, you will see it in the if you click there.
Yeah.
Okay. All the questions will pop up there.
Okay.
I will just type something for testing. Do you see?
Testing Rolf, yes, I saw it.
Great.
Great. Thank you.
So you need to read the question and direct to the speakers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
Understood.
Kann denn überhaupt irgendjemand sehen, wie viele Leute online sind? Sieht man das irgendwo?
Ja, also wir können sehen, es sind gerade 200 online und insgesamt haben sich schon 1165 eingeloggt. Das ist wirklich eine sehr gute Zahl aus den Erfahrungen heraus mit Webinaren und sowas. Also ist es schon sehr ordentlich für die kommerzielle Schifffahrt, ne?
Das ist übrigens ganz interessant. Wir haben heute Nachmittag noch ein Pressegespräch. Ich habe deshalb eine ganze Reihe von Journalisten nochmal angeschrieben, ob sie denn bitte wirklich erscheinen. Und eine ganze Reihe von denen haben mir zurückgeschrieben, wie super das Event sei. Also Florian, am meisten an dich wahrscheinlich gerichtet.
Und an Anne, also ganzes Team dahinter.
Ja, aber von denen, die hier zusammen sind. Also die Leute sind echt beeindruckt, wie professionell das aufgezogen ist und haben auch geschrieben, interessante Sessions. Und also die mir zurückgeschrieben haben, alle tatsächlich unaufgefordert auch noch positives Feedback gegeben. Einer aus Singapur war so begeistert, der hat noch 3 Screenshots geschickt von seinen Lieblingspräsentationen, die er gesehen hat.
Okay.
Da hat er uns aber noch nicht gesehen, ja?
Richtig. Das schickt er dann.
Screenshot.
Bei uns nimmt er ein Video auf. Bei uns.
Ja, genau.
Er streamt live auf seinem Channel, ja, genau.
Wir werden ein neuer Desktop-Hintergrund.
Mark, do you hear?
Yes, I can hear you. It's working now, yeah?
Yeah, so did you add the second screen?
Yes, I put another screen so I can leave it like this right now.
Okay,
Yeah?
perfect. So just let you know when you start, you are the first speaker?
No, so this is coming in the first part of the live Q&A session, yeah? So I guess I would be then the first. So it's like Rolf is saying, and now the stage is yours. So we are like giving the stage to the audience, but I will come with a question. But we wanted to show actually one more thing. So can I share with you the overview of this on that, and then we would come with these screens. And then we would go through these slides, and then Rolf, you would kind of take over from me once again to start with the questions. Yeah? One thing here. Sorry if we talk about it, Goran. While talking about system architecture, would you like? Yeah. Do you want to take over, or shall I do it?
You can do it.
Okay. No,
I would
that's fine. That's
appreciate,
fine.
Goran, if you make the same face again when he speaks about system architecture.
And one other thing, Goran, I think we didn't talk about. So we could expect a question: when can I order the system, or is it already ready, and so on. And I thought about it. There are like 2 points. One thing is for the commercial sector, we want to be ready in 2021, but we don't have the date set yet. So stay tuned. We will let you know as soon as we know. It's 2022, beginning of 2022. We don't know the date when exactly is not set yet. So stay tuned. And the second thing, for the naval sector, we are already in discussions with several navies because the projects are taking much long time. So if there is an interest from the governmental side, please reach out to us anytime now already, and then we can see what we can do. Yeah? They like this direction. I think that it would fit like
That's
to
fine.
our schedule. Yeah, I just wanted so that you're not surprised as well. What do we say and how do we want to do it if this question would appear? Great. Yeah.
Bart, one request from my side. When you're presenting the
Yes.
slides, please leave some time for the questions in the end here.
Okay.
Not that you expend your speech till the Q&A session is over.
No, it's I don't. It's like, I don't want to, but don't worry, I don't want to go through into the details too much. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to share only this is how our system architecture looks. We will be sharing the slides afterwards anyway. This is how the system architecture looks. So what we do, we gather the data on board of the asset. This is the lowest level where we put additional sensors if necessary. We combine the data, gearbox, engine data, and other systems. On the bridge, we get the navigational data. You can see the data on the workstation on board, and we can transmit it to the cloud so that you can access the data from the land-based side. End of the story. It's telling what we do in the end. And here is just an example of how it looks. So very short. Yeah, I think 2 minutes and I'm done with this. I don't want to go to the, but thanks, Florian. You are right. We shouldn't be like, making a deep dive here.
One more comment. You were saying like we're sharing the slides. It's better when you say that the platform is online until the end of June and the sessions will be available on the platform. This is important to say it that way. So not sharing the slides, tell the audience that the platform is online until end of June and they will be able to see the sessions there again on demand.
Thank you, Florian.
Florian, just to be sure, the session ends at 9:30, right? So we have 23 minutes of questions and answers.
You can extend the live Q&A until 9:43. I just wrote in the chat, but not more than that. You can see how it goes.
Okay.
In case you're having a lot of questions, I just want to check how long is the presentation.
I think it's 22 minutes, something like this.
Well, if it's 22 minutes, then you can end on time and you don't have to really go. Yeah, it's 23, almost 23 minutes.
And Florian, from your experience, do we have a talkative audience at the summit? Are there many questions in the other sessions, or?
Depending on the topic, there are, but did you prepare 1 or 2 questions by yourself?
Well, we prepared the Slido questions and we prepared the additional info there. So we didn't really think of, did we?
I talked to one of the colleagues now who will be joining the session, definitely.
Okay.
So if he would see nothing going on, he will maybe support a little bit, yeah?
Okay, very good.
What happens is that usually people start typing in questions when the live Q&A starts. So they start typing then, and basically most of the sessions, from what we've seen so far, they received the most questions around the end of the live Q&A, which is inconvenient, but you can tell the audience that if there are any unanswered questions, they will be addressed afterwards.
Yes.
The morning sessions are more active, so.
Okay.
No, we can see it at the booth as well. I think that Asia and Europe are more active than US in the end on the summit. I don't know how the numbers look like, but the impression is like this at least. Yeah. And Rolf, maybe one other thing, the topic Halunderjet, 9 o'clock on the way already. Yeah. You will touch the base on this one as well, and in the Q&A. Yeah.
Yes, we should definitely.
Because I think it's we're kind of lucky here, are we? So maybe this could be one of the questions I could ask here, Mario, to ask when the vessel is going into service.
Or maybe Jana can ask the question, because when Mario asked it, we can see his name as a person who's asking.
And
Jana?
he should know when the vessel is going into service.
Normally, yes.
Yeah, in fact.
Yes, I've been acting like an anonymous question asker, so you can use me as much as you want.
But wouldn't be another idea that during the question and answer I say something like, history is being written as we speak? Tim, can you comment on that? What's happening right now with Halunderjet? I mean, we know that this is important and we know that this is happening, so we should probably address it ourselves.
Sure, you can do that. You don't need to, if you have some questions that you would like to address between yourselves, as this one, for example, you can do that. You don't need to wait for the audience to send it.
Okay, I would have one more question. The name of the technician. If we need to ask something, it's good to know the name. And sorry, is the technician still there? I didn't.
His name is Ron.
The name is Ron.
Okay, thank you, Ron. You know, it's something with slides or whatever, yeah, then I don't want to say, yeah, can the technician show the slides? It doesn't sound so professional, yeah.
Okay, no problem.
In case of something would go on.
I hope you won't call me.
Yeah, you can basically, while you're talking, when you want to share the slides, you can just say, now we would like to show some slides, and then Ron will know that he needs to put them on screen. The same for the voting questions, the word cloud and the multiple choice questions.
Rolf, when we're sharing the word cloud, just give them like 2 minutes to to type, because sometimes they're thinking, so sometimes it takes time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
And you can fill in the time instead of just staying in silence. You can discuss with the rest of the people what do they think the answers might be and things like that. You'll do fine.
Good. Yeah.
So far, everybody did fine, so I trust in you.
No pressure. No pressure.
No pressure. No, you will see. It's not that complicated. And also, once you do it now, it will be even easier in the evening.
No pressure, but everybody else did well. So.
Pardon? I didn't hear what you said.
No pressure, but everybody else did well. Yeah.
Yes.
So.
No, but even if there were things, for example, somebody muted themselves and didn't realize, so somebody else told him, "Can you, like, you're on mute? We don't hear you. Can you please unmute yourself?" Those things happen, and you don't have to worry about them.
Well,
this is the life component, so.
I'm confident because Florian is here. He can always take over and say, "I'm sorry, my colleague is a complete failure, so we have to stop this here." And
you will receive your 1 month notice after this.
I like our introduction video, which is running right now.
Can anybody else see it? I don't. Yeah. That's maybe it's better. I don't know.
Well, you can watch it, but just have in mind that once the session starts, it's good that you close everything. Also, maybe Outlook and Skype and things that might make any sound during the. Also, your phones. At least put them on silence.
And it's helpful Skype to put Skype on nicht stören, do not disturb.
This I also, Florian, I didn't know that if you're on do not disturb, if somebody writes you on Skype, it will not come up. I didn't know that. I've been learning so much from this summit. Really.
So for this.
And have you seen the introduction for your session, which we did here in marketing?
I'm just watching it right now in another tab of my browser.
Okay.
At least I think so. Yeah, now I can see Rolf.
Yeah.
So if we want to watch, we should dial
if you want
in
any
ourselves,
question
yeah?
to be asked.
Excuse me, you were saying?
I can also send you the link so you can directly join the session. But I was saying that if you would like any question to be asked by the audience, you can send it in our private chat here, and I can post it as a anonymous question asker. If you think that's needed. Because as I told you, people will start most probably sending their questions once you go live. So.
Team, is it the last vessel actually now in the North Sea and Baltic Sea area from your fleet which is going into service, or there are some other waiting?
We are already having now 2 of our Sylt ferries operating. Actually, the only big issue that we are still having in Germany is Mecklenburg-Vorpommern, because they are extremely strict in regards to touristic things at the moment. And all other ships we have in Germany, they are all operating Berlin, Heligoline, and so on. Also all offshore vessels, but Mecklenburg-Vorpommern is quite strict, yeah. But on HelloNet, we are having today RTL on board, NDR radio, several newspapers. So
Today?
Let's see.
Today?
Yes, today.
Yeah, perfect.
Because of season start and so on.
So it's not a boring day for you today, is it?
Well, I have the lucky card because my colleague Birte is on board and is having all the stress, and I'm enjoying my life with MTU here at home. So she's sending me WhatsApps and so on, and I'm enjoying the day. Let's say it like this.
And Jörg is jumping around in the engine room downstairs and doing some
Yeah,
measurements.
exactly.
I met him yesterday evening.
Yeah, I can imagine that he's a bit of stress. Yeah.
Could you please still send the link to the session so that I could join the...
Ron, can I just send the one from Big Marker directly?
Yes, 1 second. I will send it in the chat.
Because I think it's easier for us to watch the session as well, like on the parallel here, so that we know.
Of course. I send it in the private chat, if you see now. But very important to close it right before we start, because if not, there will be echo.
But can you send? Can you forward this by WhatsApp, or doesn't matter, or something else?
By WhatsApp, I sent it in the chat.
Yes,
I can.
but I have it on my mobile. I can take it only,
okay.
I can see it only on my mobile.
Yeah, I just forwarded it to Ron.
Perfect.
You have it.
Danke.
You're welcome.
I will just leave for a second because I want to try and reconnect to see if my camera will work. I don't want you to miss my morning face. I'll be back in a second.
So maybe one other small interesting thing, I opened this Q&A instructions, how to dial in, that we received from Anne-Jure. And then there's like a small example, a small screenshot of 3 faces, people talking to each other. And then I look at it and I think to myself, Bart, you know this guy? And one of the person on the picture, Miłosz Paczewski, he's a brother of my good friend, and he is
really. No, not really.
Yeah,
you see how small the world might be.
Is actually like, and for Corona, he is now like acting as a berater in English. I lost the word now. As a
consultant,
consultant for the Polish Prime Minister. So I guess this must have been one of the live sessions recorded with him. But it was funny to see, like, the face,
He always said he was going to be a model. Now he is one.
At least for Kenneth and the instructions they sent. Have you heard the story, Jana?
No.
Anne was sending prior in the meeting request here and the appointment instruction with some screenshots in.
Yeah.
And the screenshot shows, for example, 3 persons talking to each other, explaining how the Q&A session works. And Bart just watched this and found out that he knows one of the guys on the picture.
Oh, really? This was from, I think it was from AAN. It was from another congress that we did.
Yeah.
So actually, you knew one of the people we used in the screenshots. Wow.
Yes.
How small can the world be? Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's funny to watch, like on the left-hand side, I have now the screens where I can see you live, and on the right-hand side, we are all talking in the session. So
cloning is live.
Make sure to close one of the tabs and the right one. So, Tim, speaking about real-time, do you get real-time updates on HalundaJet? I mean, if something goes wrong at 9, will you know? or immediately, or will it take a bit?
If it's a big issue, yes, then somebody will call me. If it's a big issue, like
Okay.
we had some days ago, it was not a technical one. It was just Hamburg when they told us you're not allowed to operate out of Hamburg. Then of course I'm receiving a phone call or whatever. But if it's just a smaller issue or something, then they won't call me.
Okay. So by 9:10 or so, you would probably know if the ship had sunk.
Yes, exactly. But I'm quite optimistic that everything will be fine.
Good.
Wow.
But Rolf, this could be a question for the Q&A as well, or?
Yeah.
What is
Yeah,
the
and-
situation? I think I've missed something.
We are having
worries,
our
the
first
ship hasn't
operation
sunk.
day today. We are starting our business today again with the vessel that we are speaking of today. And it's operating out of Hamburg. And today, in 4 minutes, we're having our first departure this year with the vessel again. So,
Wow.
so my colleagues are there, and I'm enjoying the day here in the home office. So they're having the stress, and I'm having my coffee and you.
So how many people are allowed on Halunda Jet now with the Corona social distancing rules?
Full capacity, 680.
Really? Wow.
There is, let's say, a gray zone in the law. Grauzone, I don't know the English word for that, but there are some gaps in the laws, and they simply forget some things, and Halunda Jet is one of them. So we are allowed to operate in full terms. Of course, we are having shields there between the seats. Everybody is wearing a mask. We are only allowed to operate with FFP2 masks and not with these normal blue masks. And we are not booked out. We are having today a bit more than 200 packs on board. We are having a peak on Saturday with 450 up to now. Let's see how many more people will book until then. But yeah.
Okay, interesting. Thanks.
You could actually use that for the live Q&A.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, we will definitely talk about the first operational day.
It's like, do you think it's really like a blind spot in the law? Because I was flying in February, and it's like you have all these precautions and distancing and whatever, and then you get to the plane, into the plane, and it's completely full. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think the rules they simply didn't consider how that the social distancing in whatever kind of transportation did they? I don't know, but it looked so to me.
And I would also say, for example, the aviation lobby is so strong. If Lufthansa and all the others say to our government, we need full capacity. In case not, we will go bankrupt, and we are done with our business. But yeah, let's see. We had some restrictions last year, and they simply forgot this year.
Okay.
Crazy.
But this is nothing for the Q&A session. I will not speak about gray zones and that the politicians forgot us or something. I would just say, first operation day, we have journalists and press on board, everything good. And,
But this could make some headlines.
yeah, definitely.
Managing Director of FRS Helgoline bashes government. But it's again about the real-time information, the ecosystem, which is not on board of the ship. There's the first question, by the way, Bart, and it's exactly regarding what you will show, the slides. Is it possible to see the tool? Who in FRS actually sees the data in real time on land? Is it the technicians
At
of
the
yours?
moment, it's our technical department.
Okay.
So these guys can see it. Of course, looking in the future, I would also like to see it, but for the first step, it's sufficient that our technical department can see it. And Bart, you're more into that, but at least what I've heard from our technical department is running now.
Pardon?
Yes, and it's like it's not. Once again, by talking about this, I would mention as well. Okay, we are transmitting the data in a live modus, but there is nobody sitting in front of the screen anywhere in Hamburg looking at the data, because it's not necessary. This is not the idea of the system, that somebody is watching the ship. And I think it's sometimes important to mention, because there is in fact this requirement for live data, but it doesn't mean that somebody is all the time looking. Yeah, you need a trigger, then you can look into, and then you have the overview of the live data, but you don't need a constant monitoring. It's not the idea of this, that we build like a control tower.
Okay.
Rolf, you said we have this question already now. Does it mean after saying the stage is yours, you will come on to this question, or shall we still?
No, we will stick with this.
We do as planned. Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
let's stick to
I think that's
Very
much
good.
better, because otherwise it will seem a bit strange that we have these slides prepared and we didn't show them in the presentation, the original presentation. So let's stick to the plan, and then I can always say, well, by this you have already answered the first question that was asked, I guess. So
Okay.
I think this will work fine.
Even better.
Did you see you have a question in the chat? Was it this one that you were discussing?
Yeah, the one. Thanks to all for sharing this interesting project.
Yes.
Is it possible to see the tool? Yeah.
Is it possible?
Bart has anticipated the question and will show it even before we ask the question.
Is it possible finally to get a list of all questions?
Yes, at the end we will collect all the questions, and they will be sent to Florian and Anne, and they can send it to you, because the idea is that
I will answer them.
Yes, Anne and Florian will answer them. The idea is that we would like to have all these questions addressed afterwards.
Maybe one more question to Ron. Do we have to put ourselves on mute, or it's not necessary?
It's really recommended when you're not speaking to mute yourself.
Okay.
It's really recommended.
Okay.
And we have 5 minutes before we go live. Okay.
Yeah.
I will give you a reminder a few seconds before.
Sorry, I will tell my kid, not that he's running around here. I will remind him once again.
Okay, Rolf, you starting the session, correct?
Actually, Bart will first of all interrupt me and say one more thing, and then when Bart has done his thing, I would say thank you. Sorry for forgetting.
Such an Apple moment.
Yes, it's gonna be
I feel like at the keynote from Apple.
And we are having 2 more new questions, just to let you know.
That's cool. That's really good.
That's perfect, yeah.
Do we have an answer for the second one regarding the fuel consumption? We haven't probably done those measurements.
I don't see the question, sorry. Where do we have?
Okay, I will put it in the, if you see private chat, I will put it there.
Yeah, I can see the private chat.
Okay.
Here's the link.
So we should click the link to see the question. Okay, sorry. Okay.
So the third question is...
Bart, do you have a third screen you can...
Not yet. Give me a second.
Go get your kit with a third screen.
Yeah.
Goran disappeared. I hope that's not due to any technical difficulties. Okay. He's gone again.
Any ready
He's
data
back
so far of the fuel consumption saving? Goran, regarding the fuel consumption saving and data, what do we want to say there? Do we have some idea maybe? Because we are in the test phase, so it's difficult to say about savings in details. We have experience from other areas, or how do?
Too early
Yes,
stage, I would say.
we can mention that we have the system running on board of these commercial big vessels, two-stroke engines, and we have data which are showing savings and things.
I think we have
Is there an average percentage maybe you can add for the savings?
I cannot add something now, not so shortly, but afterwards we can maybe reply to this finally in detail.
We have like 2 minutes, right?
So maybe it makes more.
Yes, we have.
So maybe it makes more sense.
Yes,
Yeah, please go ahead.
No, we have 1 minute and 40 seconds before we go live.
Okay.
I will turn off my camera in that case.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Now on purpose.
So
Bart,
Bart,
you're ready?
Bart, you ready?
Ready when you are.
Okay, so I will let you know. I will give you a sign, and please count down from 10 to 0 silently, count in your head, and then you can start the session. Okay?
Okay. But I'm waiting for your sign. Then you will tell me. Yeah.
I will tell you to count silently from 10 to 0 and to start.
Okay.
In around 1 minute. Good luck. Okay, Bart, please start the countdown.
Okay, Rolf. I can see already some questions coming, but actually there is one more thing I wanted to share with our audience. So, because we talked a lot about EHM and a lot about the project, how we want to do it, but we actually didn't say yet what it is. So if you look at the screen, you will see the first thing, our system architecture. So what EHM actually is. If we start from the bottom, you have the layer where we collect the data. So these are the sensors which are already existing, all the sensors we have at the engine, at the gearbox, other systems. This could be a fuel meter or, for example, vibration monitoring. We collect all the data. Of course, engine is like the main component from our perspective. We put all of this to the bridge on our server. On the left-hand side, you can see navigational data. So we are using the existing sensors of the vessel, for example, for performance monitoring. And then you can access the data over the workstation on board of the vessel, or by using ship communication, the data from the vessel can be shifted into the cloud, and you can access the data as well from the land-based side.
Mm-hmm.
And here maybe one last thing. This is an overview of our user interface. So this is our preliminary user interface, but actually I think it shows how we work. So from the left-hand side, we start with vibration monitoring, and you can see there are like 4 bars. So we are comparing the vibration of all 4 engines, so that even without having a in-depth knowledge on vibration, you can immediately see I have almost the same level of vibration on all 4 engines, which would indicate everything is fine in this area. In the middle, similar for performance monitoring, for example, monitoring of the consumption, where you can again see, okay, all 4 engines performing in a very similar way. And on the right-hand side, crankcase pressure. So again, a comparison between all 4 engines, when you can immediately see, okay, this is where we are here. And I think this is like what the main idea or our perspective. So we want to make it as easy, as simple for the user as possible.
Okay, great. Thank you, Bart. I think this was very helpful. Thank you for adding this concise info. As you said, there are already a couple of questions, and I believe you answered the first one of them, which is it possible to see the tool? And I think you showed the view, how it looks for the operator. So this is probably as close as it gets to seeing the tool. So thank you for that. Then we have a couple of additional questions. Let's just go through them. The second question is, what kind of vessels can be equipped with your EHM system? I believe, Bart, again, you would probably be the best person to answer.
We don't have any limitations here at the moment. So we start in a specific sector for commercial vessel, for a fast ferry. Parallel, we are looking for the naval sector. We have actually already delivered one system for the customer in Asia, and our goal is to step by step cover all kind of vessels. Important thing maybe to keep in mind, there will be always some application specific functionalities needed. That's why it will take time until we can cover all. So you may need a different functionality on a fast ferry, on a tugboat, and on a Coast Guard vessel. So on one hand, we look at the similarities, but on the other hand, wherever necessary, we want to have as well specific functionalities in place.
Mm-hmm. I think another question goes very well with this one, and you partly answered it already. Is the EHM system implemented in governmental marine as well? I think you hinted at the fact that yes. And then the additional question, can we work on providing information to local operators to keep the information confidential? What is the solution for that problem?
Yeah, and a very important topic. So maybe once again to highlight for the naval, for all governmental applications, Navy ships, frigates, Coast Guard vessels, we at the moment we do not foresee a cloud solution from our end. So we don't send the data into the cloud. We stay locally due to security reasons. But there is an option to exchange the data. And for the governmental part, it has to be always done customer specific, because it really depends very much on type of operation and on the way that that our customer in the end is dealing with the data. But we have the flexibility to provide the data to enable this exchange. This is definitely part of the concept.
Mm-hmm. Goran, in any case, if you have anything to add to any of the questions, don't wait for me to call on you. You can, of course, always start.
I'm fine. Bart already
okay.
this, correctly.
Great. Okay. We have another question. Do we have any ready data so far of the fuel consumption saving? And I think this is a good question, a good occasion to actually announce that history is being written as we speak. Tim, can you tell us something what's happening right now with HalunderJet?
Yes, we are having our season start just right now. So normally we would have started our season end of March, but due to COVID, we had a delay in that. But now touristic trips to the island of Helgoland are allowed again. And yeah, the HalunderJet just departed 50 minutes ago from Hamburg, Landungsbrücken. We're having several TV stations, radio stations with us and journalists, and slightly more than 200 passengers on board who have a trip to Helgoland today. So yeah, we are having our first trip in this year.
Fantastic. That's great timing. From this, I would deduct that probably you don't have, or we don't have such detailed data on fuel consumption saving yet. Goran, can you confirm? Can you comment?
Yes, for the high-speed running engines, we don't have this information accessible now. This system, the basement for this solution is already running system, which is running on board of a few hundred vessels in the commercial part for two-stroke engines. So at this point, we have already a lot of data, but not especially for the high-speed running vessels and smaller vessels. Not yet. We are already saving and collecting this data on board of the HalunderJet, but we have not accessed the data and take a look for the savings yet.
Okay. Then we have a couple of questions for the experts. I'm not really familiar with all the terms, so help me out here, please. There's the question, is Rolls-Royce Power Systems involved in designing availability into new P&P systems? Or with Echo, is Power Systems more focused on managing availability in service? I honestly don't know what a P&P system is. Bart, Goran, can you comment on this?
I don't know. Sorry.
Okay,
But on the but I'll try to answer the question anyway. So I think there are like two parts still. So on one hand, we look at the service side, and availability is connected to the service, because actually as soon as we detect something, an abnormality, the problem is not finished. It's where it actually starts. Yeah. So we need service to solve the problem. That's why EHM this has to be the tool connected to the service. That's why it's so important to have this data as well available in the cloud, as an example, or have an opportunity to exchange the data for the governmental sector. Nevertheless, we could imagine as well kind of a standalone system where the operator, the customer, is managing the availability from his side. I think it's still like an open question. Which solution would be the better one, yeah? Or which solution is actually the one needed on the market, yeah? So the one incorporated into the service, or the one, or the kind of a standalone system.
Goran, this is a good hint, actually. We have a question for our viewers as well, which might help us better understand their needs. Can we just show the poll that we have prepared for our participants?
Ron, sorry.
Okay, this is actually the second poll that we wanted to ask. This is the one, right? Perfect. As Bart said, we are at the opening stages, at early stages in the project, and it's being developed with FRS Helgoland, and of course in partnership with MEC. And but we would like to understand a little bit better what other potential customers could be interested in. What is the relevance for them? So the question would be, what kind of EHM offering would be the most interesting for you? Answers are already coming in. The possible answers are EHM as a standalone system, EHM as a service with a monthly fee, or EHM as a part of a value care agreement.
I see it so far very interesting, the development, to be honest. It's like we don't have, there is like nobody at the moment looking at EHM as a standalone system.
Yes.
Let's wait until the end, but very exciting.
Yeah. Let's give it 1 or 2 minutes more. Votes are still coming in, being counted. But, so there is a vote for the standalone system. Yeah. Okay, still some votes coming in. We'll give it a minute more. But I think you've made it clear, Bart, that this product and project is being developed in very close partnership with customers, so tailored to customer needs. So this is, we're not just doing it for the fun, this question, right? You're really interested in understanding what the customers'
definitely,
expectations
and
are.
You know what it's showing me now. So let's wait until the end, but still like the development. So in order to sell EHM as a service or to sell a value can agreement, a mindset change on the market is required because the operator will be sharing the responsibility in regard to the availability of the asset with us, which is in the end something new. And many of the operators, where FRS is a great example, they have a very strong technical part. They are very good at it. So it doesn't mean that the operator is immediately interested in sharing this with us, this responsibility, because this is a part of the core know-how as well. So it's showing me that it's like there is a potential there definitely to go really one step ahead and to rethink it, how we talk about availability and how we guarantee this and how the customer and our service are interacting together.
Okay, great. I think we have a stable outcome. The final results are in. And in the week of the Eurovision Song Contest, 12 points go to EHM as a service, with 54% of votes. Any comments on this, Goran, Bart?
That's very interesting, because it's exactly what we also observe for the huge commercial vessels and the big container vessels and everything. It's very interesting because it's the same mindset what I observed. Very interesting.
This is something Tim mentioned actually today as well, that it's like you want to focus on your core activities, and this would be like the confirmation you're not the only one here with this approach.
Yes. As we said earlier today, we could have done this somehow by our own, because we have the vessels, we have technicians, we have the know-how and so on, but we wanted a strong partnership, and we are very happy that we can do it together with MTU and Mac.
Great.
And yeah.
Okay. Thanks. I think this was a very worthwhile exercise, but let's now return to the participants asking us questions rather than vice versa. There are still a couple of open questions, and again, you have to help me with terms that I'm not aware of. What type of PLE or hardware is used to retain that type of information and communicate back?
I will answer this, Bart. Rolf. It's a different set of hardware. It's finally dependent to the solution and to the sensors which are available on board. So we have trying to using standard components which are available on the market, and not to develop fully our own stuff. We are more concentrating to develop the software and not the hardware. So we try to use standard components. And if possible, we are also taking in account if the data are available on the network. So then only the hardware for the server is used, and the rest of data can be picked directly via the network.
Okay, thank you. Then there is an additional question going into the same direction, I think. The question is, which technical and/or software requirements, for example, protocols, do components need to fulfill in order to be integrated into the EHM?
It's very simple. It's very simple. It's very simple. The system itself and the architecture is very modular. So we are normally trying to use the standard protocols which are available: Modbus, TCP, CAN bus, different set of NMER signals, and so on. And from the other side, we also can collect data as a 4 to 20 milliamp signal and the standard the standard interfaces, electrical interfaces. But if it's necessary to develop a special interface, then we have to take a look how and what to do. It's from the software architecture, it's not the big point to integrate different interfaces into the system itself.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. There's another question. I believe it might have already been answered, but maybe we can reiterate. The question is for Navy and Coast Guard. Can the tool be kept at a shore facility where the Navy can monitor remotely? Bart, can you repeat?
Yeah, so we would still see there are two options, actually one option. We have to incorporate into the existing processes of the Coast Guard, and we definitely have technical capabilities how to support this transmission of the data or this handover of the data, I would say. We can incorporate it into the existing Navy or Coast Guard data exchange tunnel or existing cloud solution if there is one available within the Coast Guard organization, or we can do it as easy as with a secured hard drive or USB stick. But yes, this is the answer is actually yes. This is where what we are looking forward to.
Okay, Goran, you want to add something, or this is
no?
It's covered?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Great, thanks. And there's another interesting question regarding the monitoring of vibrations. How much accuracy do you expect in vibration monitoring? And here the person added traditionally MTU was measuring vibration. So we do seem to have experience in that field. Can you comment?
Yes, I will answer. The accuracy is to be defined yet. We have measured this on different things, and we have also confirmed this with manual and separated tests, the measurements. I expect that the vibration accuracy, what we measure, is something between 1% and 2%, according to the tests what we have done now, and this needs to be confirmed finally. But I think that will be the result approximately.
Bart, you want to add anything?
I think it's answering the question. Maybe one comment to this in general when talking about the vibration monitoring. You know, we use the opportunity. We don't need to look into the engine, for example, using vibration monitoring, because we have already other sensor existing and other data that we are analyzing, like, for example, single exhaust gas pressure. So it's like we don't need to go into extremely high frequencies where the equipment is as well expensive on one hand, and on the other hand, the complexity for the user is getting higher. So it makes the system less complex and more user-friendly in the end.
Okay.
We try to simplify this. Just one comment. We try to simplify this finally. the results, because we will show at the first level and at the system, we will show the level of vibrations, and finally, if you recognize that the level is too high, then the system will provide additional information where you can see the FFTs and the complete vibration information. And then you can deep into the data and provide this data to other experts finally also. That's the idea.
Okay, thank you. There was a clarification from the person asking the question. It was meant to say traditionally MTU was not measuring vibration. So this is new for us and a new field for us.
Yeah, actually, we were measuring vibration, but in a different way. So never online, I would say. So we were measuring this as a kind of a service. So we were going with a high quality equipment on board, doing the measurement, and then analyzing in the laboratory. And now we are bringing this know-how in a simplified way into the field.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So our viewers who watched closely, they are aware that we have another poll prepared for them. We have another question. It should pop up right now for the viewers, for the participants. Using just one word, what is the most important aspect of EHM for your business? So if you would have a system like Echo, what would you use it for? What, maybe you can come up with an idea of yourself. And in the end, we should have a nice word cloud helping Bart and Goran seeing what is it that you need or want. Yeah.
I can see availability already popping up. That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I would really give it like 2 or 3 minutes to give you some time to type and come up
maybe
with
like
ideas.
we are always looking at 3 sides. So on one hand, it's availability, then it's performance, and this is the environmental impact. So there's 2 main aspects that we cover, but it's always important to ask this question to find out as well what the customer actually wants out of the system, because it might be we are not really following in the end the goal of the customer, and this is what we want to do.
Okay, interesting. So Tim, maybe a question while we are waiting for the results to come in. We know that for you, availability, reliability is very important, as well as reducing the let's say climate impact of your fleet. We're talking about one vessel at the moment. Are you planning on rolling out this project on more vessels if it proves itself in service, or is it just a one-off?
No, it's definitely something that we are considering. Of course, we are now at a very early stage of the Echo on a HalunderJet, but we are very confident that it will bring the results that we are expecting from it. And yes, as already mentioned before, we are having a fleet of more than 70 vessels worldwide. So it's definitely something that we are considering to roll out the system on more vessels of our fleet. And when I'm looking at the first words that are coming in here, the words are really like the reasons why we said yes when MTU approached us in regards to Echo, like availability, uptime, cost savings, reliability. So these are the same arguments or reasons that we had as FRS to go with MTU and MEC into this project.
Yeah, very interesting.
What I find interesting here as well, if you see, we have as well some other aspects that we didn't cover, like, for example, reduction of personnel. And I believe the personnel on board is meant here. So, a different approach or a different requirement on EHM, when in the end, like semi-autonomous or autonomous operation would be the highest possible require on the EHM we could imagine, where the system has to deal with the complete complexity on board of the asset.
But availability and accuracy are the front runners. I would say availability is probably on the same level as accuracy, because there's one availability with a small typo in it. Regarding accuracy, what do you think is meant by that? Is it that people want to know in real time how exactly is the health of their propulsion system, or how would you interpret accuracy?
Yeah, I think accuracy, it tells about like we need the transparency, we need an accuracy, we need the accurate data, and we need the transparency what's happening with the data. So this is how I would read it, at least. So if the viewers have something else on their mind, please correct us in the Q&A. But
Yeah.
this is my feeling, is like, you want to, we need to have the accurate data, and I believe that as a user or as a customer, you don't want any magic. You want to understand what we as MTU do with the data and what kind of results we provide, so that out of these results you can as well start some actions, because this is in the end what it's about. Yeah, so you don't want to see the data, and you don't want to care about the algorithms. You want to know what this next step is. But if it's all not covered, and if you don't know how good the system is, so how good the accuracy of the system is, if it's like with 50% chance or with 20% chance we detected something, then it won't be good enough to satisfy the customers.
Okay, that was just another word coming in, but I guess we have our final word cloud. And but Goran, I think you have 2 new posters which you can put on your office wall to see what potential customers are interested in. May this guide you in your work. I hope this was helpful. Do you have any more that comes to mind that is important for you, Goran or Bart?
I think we have to discuss all the words which are just here also on the screen. There are a lot of things we already talk about. There are a few new things. It's very interesting, and a lot of things are covering also our mindset, and it's really interesting. I'm surprised.
Yeah, so I think we need this exchange. So it's a good platform as well here to talk to the customer, to take a look. I think it's showing as well how wide it is actually. You can see here like reduction of cost, reduction of personnel on one side, and availability as like the most important topic, but as well like optimized maintenance or accuracy, where we head into the single functionalities already. So it's like it has to be a really round product that we are looking for in order to cover all of these requirements, because some of them are really like from the different ends of the product, I would say.
So maybe I'm addressing our viewers here. So maybe if any one of you typed accuracy and you're not happy with how Bart interpreted the word, maybe you can just write a comment in the Q&A and we can address this again. But
what is also very interesting, all the words, you can connect the words to each other. That's very interesting, because if you increase the accuracy, you have more information about the set of the engines. You can predict the things. You can increase the availability and the uptime. You can, based on this, you can save costs. That's very interesting. You can connect each of these words to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Maybe I would have one question to Tim, maybe here on using the opportunity. Is there anything here which would surprise you, where you say, okay, this is something we didn't think about, or it's like, yeah, you are very deeply involved in the project and you say, yeah, this shows what we look for?
Actually, there is one point where I was a bit surprised because we never thought about it. It's reduction of personnel or crew. It's not our aim to minimize our crew or decrease our crew. It's a tool to support our crew and especially our engineer, that he's not having a breakdown in a moment where he doesn't want to have a breakdown. He gets a signal before that and can do it with much less stress than he would normally have to do it. So I would say it's a support for our personnel and our technical team onshore. So we never had, let's say, in mind to decrease our personnel. It's, let's say, a availability tool and an uptime tool and a support for our all kind of technicians that we have within FRS. So this was one of the points where I was a bit of surprise, but I'm very happy to see that availability is one of the, let's say, main points that we have received here from the auditors, because this was one of the main reasons why we said, let's go for the project.
Okay, thank you for this one. I think it's like interesting. On one hand, we have availability, and now cost saving, when we speak, is getting bigger and bigger, which is like almost kind of a conflict, you know. It's like, yeah, availability may cost money, and I think this is like the goal of the system. Yeah, you don't want to put a fifth engine as a spare to gain availability and keep the money somewhere on the shore. In case of something break, you want a different system. So yeah, this is, yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, I guess availability helps you make money. If
Exactly.
the vessel is not available, you will lose a lot of money. So what I find a bit surprising is that nobody seems to mention the environmental aspect. But maybe if we present again next year or in another venue and we have more concrete data on how much fuel saving is possible by monitoring and analyzing, maybe this will play a larger role also. But I just found it interesting because green shipping is one of the big themes of the summit, and in this regard, it doesn't seem to be one of the focus topics for our viewers. Okay, I think we have we can close the poll. And again, I guess the three of you will probably work with this and gain some insights, some further insights from it. I think if I haven't missed anything, then we have answered all the questions. And I think we did it in quite a concise and very interesting way. I think we have some very impressive experts here with us. I think it was a very worthwhile experience for me, certainly, hopefully also for the viewers. Any famous last words from maybe Tim, Goran, Bart?
Thank you for the invitation, Rolf, and you, and Bart, and Goran.
Thank you also to everybody.
So maybe I would finish with a question. Can you hear me? Because I can see
yes, we can.
Have some connectivity issues, you know. It's that's great, you know, crazy times. No, it's the first this type of event that I'm participating with as a speaker, and having this interaction, I'm really amazed how good it works and how easy it is actually to get the feedback of what we talk about. So I think I hope that our listeners enjoyed just the same as I did, and yeah, thank you very much.
Same from me, but I think I speak for everybody involved if I say that we very much look forward to meeting in person again. And yes, I think on this note, I thank you again, and to all our participants. Also, thank you very much for your interest, for your very lively discussion, and see you next time. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.